After I was sentenced to death row for the murder that I didn't commit, I was transported from the county jail to Florida State Prison, where they house the inmates that's awaiting death row, waiting for their death warrant to be signed and be put to death by legal injection. I have heard of this place, but I never seen of this place. My first day stepping off the van, I had a dreaded feeling, a horrible feeling, emptiness, a betrayal feeling. And I had to get off the van and walk with shackles on my feet, shackles on my arms, and then a shackle running from your arms down to your feet. When we got to the death row door, the house the inmates for the death are waiting to be put to death, the officer showed me not even 5 feet away, another door, and he told me, that door there is the last door you'll see. When you go into that door, you go downstairs, there's a bed waiting for you. They strap you down and they inject things into you until you can't breathe again. I don't know if this was a scaring tactic that they use when introducing people to the death row down here in Florida, but it works for me. It was horrifying. It was something to think about.
After being incarcerated for 18 and a half years, 6 of them on death row and eventually be found innocent, I would say the injustice for me was actually being found guilty. Through no evidence, through no DNA, through no fingerprints, through no eyewitnesses to the case, just by somebody saying one thing and being total lies and being actually found guilty. And I can remember I spoke with some of the jurors, after they found me not guilty, and they apologized to me. They said they don't even know how I was found guilty the second time that I went to trial. And they apologized for the mishaps. And I was released into the wee hours of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, still dark, no money, no compensation, no counseling, no job, nothing. I was lucky to have somebody there by my side to take me in at that time. Some people aren't so lucky.
Me being 15 years old, a life sentence, what could I tell someone who sentences young people like me? I could tell them it hurt, It takes somebody's life away off one crime, But I have to take responsibility. But at the same time, that's a pain that is really unexplainable, to be sentenced to life. Never be out there with your family again. Never be able to do certain things that you never did. And never be able to complete your goals that you had planned, When you're 15, you're young. I wouldn't say I was stupid or nothing, but I did make some bad decisions. And I would have never known one decision can cause my whole life. Being sentenced to life, that's worse than dying, Like a real, real, real bad pain.
I committed a murder when I was 17. I'm currently serving a life sentence. I've been incarcerated 23 years now. I think that by me being young at that time, and committing this murder and receiving life, and it's sort of like, it's almost, in a sense, sort of to me like a double punishment. because I'm no longer, again, that kid that did this. You know, that person is a stranger to me now. You know, it's like when you think back and you're like, wow, you know, I really did, golly. You know what I mean? I can't believe. So it's sort of like a double punishment. You know, this is my own personal view. To keep a person for life, I mean, the stuff, and what does it mean? You know what I mean? After you realize or you come to understand what you did, it's, to me, sort of inhumane. You know, when animals attack people or maim people, we put them down, you know what I mean? But us being human, you know, humans evolve, you know, we give second chances. So I don't want to come across as being unremorseful, because I'm very remorseful, very sorry, very torn about what I did. When I think of that, I can't, you know, look the mother in the face whose child I took, you know what I mean, and not feel bad, not feel nothing. But I think by me trying to change and redeem myself from that by being a better person, changing my life, is something that should have value in a sense, you know.
On the first morning of the first execution, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I arrived at my office. The execution was scheduled for 7 a.m. There were satellite dishes from television stations around the world across the street from my office. There were protesters there against the death penalty. There were proponents there for the death penalty. Everybody had their little signs and flags. It was like a big ceremony. It wasn't a solemn event where somebody was going to die. It was like a big ceremonial killing that everybody had to be in on. This was worldwide entertainment. I was having a hard time dealing with that part of it. That why would people want to know the details of a gory execution, of killing a human being against his will? I went to the man's cell finally at about 6:45 in the morning. I told him, it's getting to be that time. I'm going to be taking him down the hallway in about 15 minutes. I read him his death warrant again, as required by law. I was sitting on the bunk just next to him. He had on leg irons and belly chains and handcuffs. As I started reading the death warrant, I realized I was having some difficulty getting all of these words out of my mouth. And the condemned inmate sitting just next to me with his elbow just sort of nudged me in my side and said, "It's okay, boss. I'm ready." And I realized that in this horrible moment, in this premeditated ceremonial moment that I was going to kill this man, he was trying to make me comfortable because he knew for some reason I really didn't want to do what I was getting ready to do. That was a hard moment. Putting him to death was a very difficult task that day.